Here we go. David Yark, Rich Hill, Missouri, the dirt slinging deer.
Okay, Snorter's watching some videos, so just chill for a bit, okay?
All right.
Don't say anything bad. We're live, okay? Behave.
I'll try to.
All right, let's give it another shot here. Dave Yark, a veteran in this pro stock division. $284.22 feet, 284.22. All right, get an update on the driver here, see who that was. It was signed up as Dave Yark. Might have been a different driver. Next puller is going to be Kyle Karstens out of Parker, Kansas. Just mentioned a few moments ago about the fact that there's only one red tractor in here. And the other 9 are all John Deeres. A lot of green. The name of this next tractor coming out of Parker, Kansas, Kyle Karstens. I think he's actually meaning another type of green in that name. Definitely a lot of green being a John Deere, and most certainly a lot of green as far as money it takes to build these tractors.
Section of used tires and wheels.
Appreciate them.
Ram tire.
The intercooler to cool that incoming air charge going into the motor. Trucks are putting out somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,600 horsepower. Dan Valance, the proprietor of Val Air Clutches, Val Air diesel pulling clutches down in Mineral Wells, Texas. Currently number 2 in the point standings, only 3 points out of the top spot. Here we go. Dan Valance, the farm truck, Dodge. farm truck leading us off here.
All right. Welcome, everybody. The last day of February. Ron, do you know anybody born on February 29th or 30th? Any of those leap year babies? Kason, do you have any friends?
No.
Yeah. So I don't either. I just thought that'd be cool if you guys did. You know, maybe we could just make up a story like Kurt Van Beek's birthday is February 30th or something like that.
Yeah, I think Kurt's birthday actually is February 29th. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you go. There you go. Welcome, everybody, to Outlawed Live with Ron Stone. He is your host. I am the co-host when I'm here. Kason Petch, top right. Kason, wave a little bit. Tonight, it's all about the young guns. Ron has lined up some young guns with tonight. Kelsey Davison, Kason Petch. They're the chairpersons of the Young Gun Committee. And the young guns are a big part of the Outlaws. Big focus on our youth, the next generation of crazy people that do not want to have any money in their savings account. So it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling to know that we're bringing up the youth gone wild, Ron, as I like to say. The youth gone wild.
I don't think he's ever heard pulling described that optimistically before, Jason, as pullers. So
we hang out with his grandpa in the announcer stand, so it's going to be okay. I don't think he's heard anything he hasn't had to talk about yet. So thank you to Chandler Pickler for our new opening Outlaw Live video.
Cool.
Yeah, so we've came a long ways. I shouldn't say we. Mackenzie and Chandler have came a long way in their video editing skills, and we're starting to put out some really cool stuff that I'm proud of. So last day of February, Ron, what does that mean? March, April, May, pulling season. We are 3 months away from pulling season to Sedalia, Missouri, and I can't believe how fast the winters go every year. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I have to interrupt, Jason. There's a little hiccup in that intro there. Sedalia, Missouri actually is going to go back to the way they were doing the pull before.
Okay.
So we are looking at another venue. Nothing is signed yet, but we may kick off the season with a 2-night event. Friday and Saturday night event that same weekend, the 2nd and 3rd of June in Monette, Missouri. That's what we're looking at right now.
So literally, like last night, it was Sedalia. That's how fast things happen in our world.
Yeah, it happened this morning, and honestly, I've been talking to the folks from Sedalia. Approached me last summer. That's how long we've been talking about doing that pull there. I don't know. It's a small organization, and they are seriously afraid of losing money.
Okay.
And they went ahead and stuck with Missouri State Tractor Pullers Association and Mid-Missouri Truck and Tractor Pullers, which are 2 fine organizations in the state of Missouri.
Yep.
And I'm sure they'll do fine. And, you never know, down the road, we might hook up with the folks at the Dream Factory again. But right now, we're going to focus on the pulls that we do have scheduled. I think we've got 47 pulls, like 58 sessions of pulling. So we have plenty of pulls, no doubt. Some are referring to it as the Ironman schedule on some of the classes. But yeah, we're looking at Monette right now that same weekend. Monette, Missouri's down by Joplin, down in that area, southwest corner of Missouri. And it's a racetrack down there, some new ownership, and they're really wanting to kick off their season with the bang, and that'll kick our season off as well. So stay tuned. I think we already have it on the tentative schedule, but, it's not 100% certain until we get that contract back, so.
Understood. Kaysen, where are you at tonight, buddy?
Oh, just excuse me. I'm just at home tonight.
Yeah, just chilling. Now, are you a senior in high school this year?
I'm a junior in high school.
You're
Still
a
got
junior.
one more year yet.
You're a big junior. Do you play football, I hope?
No, just wrestling and golf.
Okay. How'd wrestling go this year?
Not too bad. Fell short of the Nebraska State tournament by 2 matches.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, man. What weight did you wrestle at?
220. There was a point in the season I was wrestling 2 weight classes. But
Yep. Oh, that's good. I was a basketball player in high school, Kaysen, and all my buddies were wrestlers, so I'd mess with them, like going down the hall, and within like 3 seconds, I'd have like both of my hands stuck behind my back up against the lockers, and they'd beat me up every day. So I've got a lot of wrestling. I got a lot of wrestling love in my life with all my buddies because I like to run my mouth a little bit.
Oh, no way.
They would always quickly put me in my place. Then I'd take them into the gym, and they would shoot a basketball like they were throwing a shot put, and I would just make fun of you wrestlers then, and I'd block your shot because you guys shot the ball down here. So
isn't that how you're supposed to shoot the basketball, like a shot put?
No. Like here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll stick to tractor pulling.
So, okay, so first question of the night, wrestling or basketball? What's your favorite? Type it in the comments, into the chat. We're going to start a poll here tonight on behalf of Kaysen Petch. So, Kaysen, what does it mean? Well, first of all, let's start at the beginning. I want you to take us through your pulling history. Start with grandpa to dad to where we are today.
We have that much time, Jason?
Dude, Ron, it's our show.
I don't talk as much as they do.
Go ahead, Kaysen.
Yeah, so my grandpa started back in 77, basically, to me, what would just be an antique pole. Then throughout the years, they just progressed. There was a video that Doug Roberts put out a little while back that actually the first tractor was my grandpa on our D21 down in Tulsa. Then, my dad took over when he was 16, and yeah, he pretty much, my grandpa, he drove a couple more times after that, but my dad was the primary driver. Then in 2022, I kicked him out of the seat.
I like that. I like how you said that. So, Thermal Thunder Pulling Team on Facebook, guys. I have it on the screen right now. You guys have been doing some really neat stuff with like your little like comments and like how a sled works and know that.
Yeah,
I'll put some of it up on the screen. We got 2 votes for wrestling so far, 0 for basketball. I just want to throw it out there, Case, and everybody's on your side so far.
Say we do have an Instagram page too that we've been posting.
Is it Thermal Thunder on Instagram as well?
Thermal Thunder Pulling Team.
Okay, we'll try to get you some more likes here tonight. I just put that in the chat right now. Steven Ngonia says disabled, so fishing is his vote. Yep, that's fair enough, Steven. That's fair enough. That's good stuff. But this is something you've been doing on your Facebook page. I think is really cool. Know the rules. Can you stop and start your pull again? Each puller has 2 attempts. Really taking some basic stuff that kind of like announcers get to talk about and put out there for the pulling fans. Case, and I like this. Was this your mom's idea or was your idea? I know your dad's not this smart.
No, that was my dad's idea.
What?
I didn't even know he started doing it until one day I opened up social media and I saw it on there.
Wow.
No, that's really cool. I've actually taken some of these posts and posted them to the Outlaw page myself because that basic information is and that's cool for him to put that out there on his social media for folks that don't know a whole lot about pulling.
It's a great way to it's a great way just to get engagement with your fans, and that's what it's all about. So I say shout out to Kyle Petch there for doing that. That's pretty cool. So, Kaysen, this is the rig, right, that hauls you around in the summer?
Yeah, the rig's been updated a little bit since.
Has it?
Yeah, sold that trailer in the spring of 21. And that's actually a fairly old photo because that's when I was in kindergarten.
Okay, that was on your Facebook page. So let me go through some photos here on your Facebook page.
Yeah, go ahead.
So there's the turbine machine. Can you start and stop your pull again? What happens if your hand comes off the throttle handle? 130 days until Ravenna. Yeah, cool stuff. There you are, wrestling.
Yeah.
Did you just say wrestling?
Yeah, I like to say wrestling.
WRASSLIN.
Yeah, it's a wrestling type of a thing. So, where do you go to high school at, Kaysen?
Milford High School.
Is that in Nebraska?
Yep.
Okay. Very good. Man, two matches away from state. That's awesome. Way to go, buddy.
Yeah.
Case and I, I want to talk about the Young Guns tonight, but what do you guys have going on for 2023? Any changes for this year?
Not a whole lot of changes. We're still going to keep throwing like hats and stuff into the crowd. That's one thing we want to keep doing. I did talk to Dave Nelson today, just over Messenger. It sounds like we might try at a couple of the 2-day events, maybe do like a kids pedal pull. That's just something I got to talk to Kelsey about, if that's something we want to do. More than likely, I think that'd be a cool thing to do.
And
awesome.
Kelsey Davidson is the co-chair of the Young Guns. Kaysen is the co-chair as well. We have a male and a female co-chairs on that committee. And also with your team, anything new coming up with the Thermal Thunder team in 2023?
Not a lot. Really, all we're doing is just the regular maintenance and keep up on it. Just with both me and my sister wrestling and both of us doing spring sports, it's just hard to find time to do a lot of work on it. So we're just doing regular maintenance.
Wait, your sister's a wrestler too?
Yeah, this.
Okay.
Our county.
You know where that wrestling comes from? I think that's from Beverly Hillbillies. I think Ellie Mae used to call it wrestling.
Yeah, she would wrestle her brother.
Yep. You ever watched the Beverly Hillbillies, Kaysen?
I have not.
No? Okay. Yeah, that's
Jason, tonight I would like you to watch an episode of the Beverly Hillbillies. It will enlighten your life. Will be much better tomorrow if you watch an episode of the Beverly Hillbillies. So,
Kaysen, I will tell you, in high school, my sophomore year, I played Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies.
You kind of got a little Jed Clampett look there, Stone. Let me pull up a picture.
I'll find a picture of I was at my grandmother's last week, and I actually found a picture from the newspaper from when I played Jed Clampett in the play there. You're looking for a picture of Jed Clampett? You'd think I look more like a Jethro, but
I was thinking. I was thinking you're more of a Jethro, but you played Mr. Clampett there.
One of my good buddies, he was about 2 inches taller than me, and he was a better Jethro. So I was the wise elder Jed Clampett in the class play. But enough about that. Kaysen's going to have to watch some Beverly Hillbillies and learn all about wrestling and stuff like that.
Kaysen, will you message us after you watch that episode?
Yeah, I'll message you guys.
You ever been swimming in a cement pond?
Cement pool?
No,
Cement pond?
can't say that I have.
I bet you have. It's a swimming pool. But so, Kaysen, you're what, 17?
Yep.
When is your birthday?
It's in October.
October. So you started your rookie season as a 16-year-old young man. And first pull of the season, your dad went out and test drove the tractor and broke it. Now,
yeah, he's not allowed to do any more test passes after that.
That was at Ravenna, right, guys?
Yeah.
I thought so. I remember that.
But
sorry, Ron.
Go ahead.
Kaysen, for those of people who don't know what a young gun is, could you just give us the high level? What is an outlaw young gun? What are the rules? If I guess so, what to be part of it?
So it's a group of kids, ages 16 to 25, and just a group of young people is what it is, and go out. We still compete in our regular classes, because that's one thing I get asked a lot with being a young gun is, what do you guys just pull against each other? We do pull in our regular classes and go out, throw shirts, posters, whatever it is, into the crowd.
Now,
Just extra stuff.
What do you have to do to become a young gun? Can a non-puller become a young gun, or does it have to be an outlaw member, puller, what have you?
I think it's a outlaw member, ain't it, Ron? I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, outlaw member, and then the age.
You got to be at least 16.
Say that again.
You got to be 16 at least.
16.
No older than 25.
No older than 25. So you're out, Jason. So.
Yep. Yeah. Clearly, Ron. Clearly.
So you talked about doing a pedal tractor pull. And by the way, Kelsey's going to join us on here if she gets out of her CPR class early enough. She had CPR class that started at 6:30. So she has the link and she's going to jump on here if she gets out of class early enough. But give us some of you talked about the pedal tractor pull that similar like you did at the Iowa State Fair, which was a huge hit there.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun because we also had our tractors up there on display. So as kids were like waiting in line for their turn, they would sit on the tractors, take pictures, autographs. I would hope that if like at these 2-a-day events for the pedal pull that we would put our tractors on display again, because I know stuff like that, like waiting in line, kids can sit on tractors. I know kids love that.
Yeah, that was a huge deal. I mean, that there were so many kids and parents up there. That was massive. How many autographs did you sign that day, you think?
I probably couldn't count. But there's quite a few.
Hundreds, I guarantee hundreds.
Awesome.
Yeah, that Titan Tires sponsored that. The kids pedal pull. It was Tuesday, August 16th at the Iowa State Fair, and it was right behind the Elwell family bleachers there. And it was so busy, because that's like a main entrance for people coming in, like extra supplies and stuff like that. They brought out extra security to keep people back. There were so many parents there and grandparents with the kids. It was wild.
Yeah, it was big.
But it was so cool, Kason, to have your real pulling vehicles out there with and then they had 2 tracks of pedal tractors as well. If you Google kids pedal pull at the Iowa State Fair, they have all the results up on the line at the Iowa State Fair website. So pretty good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kason, going back to the pulling team here, you guys obviously run a turbine power plant. It's a helicopter turbine. It just ask you, and maybe you can give me the insight from your dad and your grandpa. Does it bug you guys when somebody calls it a jet?
It bothers me. I don't know how it affects them, but yeah, it's a helicopter motor. Big difference. I know a lot of people ain't gonna see that, but it drives me nuts when they say like airplane engine or something like that.
Ask your dad and your grandpa sometime about breaking our sled down in Emporia, Kansas back in like 2003. They brought the tractor down there and we rented a sled that we ended up buying later, but it was basically an old Mack roll-off truck. And it was converted into a pulling sled. And the one gap for the hook man to get in and hook the tractors up, that gap, your tractor kicked a rock up and put a hole right through the grill and the radiator of the truck. We made it through the night, but we were dumping water in it every time the sled backed up to the starting line. It was a night to remember. I'm sure your dad and grandpa remember it if they're watching right now.
Oh, I'm sure they remember.
So what's new for the Young Guns in 2023? Anything new planned? And how many members do we have? I know today is the cutoff, right?
Yeah, today was the cutoff for the applications. I need to talk to David, see how many numbers we got. But I think last year, it was over 20 some. Not 100% sure on what it all was or what the number was on it, but
here we have go ahead with that, Jason. The turbine start up there.
Okay.
Is this? Is that you behind the wheel there, Kason?
yeah, I was the one recording that video. See,
Okay.
There's a lot of steps to starting it, and I was still new to it, so I took a video. I watched that video probably at least 100 times to teach myself how to start it. I mean, my dad can only tell me so much, but
Now this is a T-55, correct?
yes,
Which would be in what generation of helicopter?
that'd be in the Chinook helicopters.
Chinook, yeah. So how many horsepower are we talking here? How many RPMs?
About 4,500 horsepower, and the compressor's backside of the motor will do 15 at full throttle.
15,000 RPM.
The actual wheel that'll spin the rear tires, I think that gets close to about 8,000.
Okay.
Jeez, that's wild.
So the coupler in there that couples the engine to the trans, what is that called?
So like most tractors have a clutch, but
Mhm.
we have what they call an output brake because that power wheel that spins the rear tires, that's powered by the exhaust gases. So we got to be able to hold that. Otherwise, we just can't shift it. Otherwise, it'll just grind.
Okay. So what happened at Colorado? I just want to reference the little red button on top of the throttle there. Your right hand is on the throttle. That's the water injection, correct?
Yeah, that'd be the water
It's
injection.
clearly a button for nitrous, Ron. It's a nitrous button.
Kaysen, can you feel the difference when you press that button?
No, not really.
No?
I've been told that like the 53s, like what Myers run, those are a little more responsive to the water, but our motor, nah, it don't.
I can attest to that, Kaysen. I drove Cody's. I drove a couple of his tractors. The last time was 2018 in Pierce, and I did feel a difference, a boost when I hit that water injection button. It was a pretty fun ride. So explain to the folks what the water injection does there.
It doesn't really give us anything. All it really does is just help hold our horsepower as we're going down the track. Anymore in today's world of pulling, it doesn't do a whole lot. Again, it just holds the horsepower. So without it, yeah, I don't think it'd make all that big a difference if we ran it or not.
I think the way that Cody Meyer explained that was basically it takes up space in the combustion chamber.
Yeah.
So you get more compression.
Yeah, it does.
Basically is what it does there. But he's going to roll down the track here, right?
Yep. This was Saturday night in Rock Valley, Iowa.
It looked like a rough ride there.
That was probably my first rough ride, and I backed out of it because I wasn't used to it. So then it wasn't as fun a ride as what I've had, but it was an experience.
Did you get reprimanded for that, Kaysen?
No, I pretty much drove it off the track. My dad's like, "Did anything break?" I'm like, no. He's like, "I won't get mad at you for backing out of a run like that."
The turbines aren't known to be real responsive for pulling back on the throttle and then getting back into it, right?
Yeah.
What's it like having Grandpa out there helping? I mean, he's pretty knowledgeable about these things.
Yeah, he's usually like up in the announcer stand, so like on the track, it's usually just me and my dad. So,
of course, we're talking about
how many gallons of fuel does your tractor use on a pull?
I think from the time that we started to when we go down the track, I want to say 4 or 5 gallons, maybe. I don't know if that's correct.
And then what class do you pull in?
It's a 7,400-pound modified class.
All right. Could you, if you took that out of the Outlaws, what other associations could you fit into? What classes, Kaysen? Do you know? Could you go to like an ITPA hook or something like that, or is the turbine too big?
I know like the Iowa tractor pullers. We've ran with them a few years. That's about the only other association I know that we've ran with the big turbine.
Yeah, we got a lot of people watching. Got a lot of people watching from different states. So I'm trying to, if you took this to Illinois, would you be able to pull with the Illinois tractor pullers? Because I know they have some mod classes, and Ron might know better than you even on that. So
the ITPA, I think his turbine would be too big for ITPA. A T53 they could run over there, but not a T55. I think their light modified rules are pretty similar to ours and Nebraska Bush and Missouri State tractor pullers for that matter. Let's see, where are we here? Where's this?
That would be Warrensburg, Missouri.
Okay.
In 21.
I have the sound off, so we can keep talking, but I can flip it on right now.
All right, this will be your pops driving here, right?
Yep.
looked like a pretty fun ride there.
Yeah, I think we ended up third that night.
Yep, that's what your Facebook page says, Kason. I'm flipping through everything here. Your dad's piping in. Outlaws is about the only organization that this tractor would fit the rules for and be competitive. Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's about what I was thinking.
And then you guys are actually a little behind the curve as far as power output. At 4,500, you compare that to the twin Hemis, for example, which is pretty common in the class. Those guys are putting out like 5,600 to 6,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
Any plans anytime in the future to build a new tractor or update this tractor to make more power?
I don't think so. Again, the winter is very busy for us, and it's hard to find time to really do a big project like that. And even
Ron, what do the outlaw rules say? Like, what could they put on there to make it competitive? I mean, I should say competitive because I think they're competitive now. I mean, obviously they're under horsepowered, but there's been times I've seen Kason lay right in there to those guys. But
Yeah.
what do the rules allow them to go up to get closer to that 7,000-8,000 horsepower?
We do allow them to run twins now, and Kason he's probably looked at those rules even more than I have. You know what those rules state, Kason, about running twin turbines?
Yeah, so we can run two of what we have, the 11Ds, but they have to be detuned to somewhere, I want to say 3,000. So
and
okay.
And is that with or without water? I can't remember.
That'd be without water. I think the rules stay with the twins. We can't run the water.
Kason, how hard is it to find another motor like yours or another, helicopter?
It kind of comes down to knowing people. It's not so much the motor that's hard to find; it's being able to find parts for it to put one together.
When you talk to the Otts, they say the same thing with the Allisons too. They have like a little secret club with a secret handshake that they knock on the door, and if they don't, they don't know the password, they don't get in. But yeah, I think that same idea.
Yeah. Oh, and who kind of like if you're friends with the Ulmer Mafia, somehow you get a hat, and.
Yep. That wasn't me that got the hat, Ron. I know you think that was Russ Dostal.
Oh, really? Okay.
He posted it on Beer Money, and you saw that, like, what? Question mark? Like, I'm Ron Stone, and I didn't get a hat?
I was hurt. Yeah, I was offended. Had to go to my safe space for a little bit.
Kason, Chuck Hobbs is watching from Illinois. He's a mini rod puller. And I always say there's two types of people in this world, mini rod pullers and everybody else, but that's my new joke. But he wants to say, why don't we see the big flames out of them anymore, out of the turbines?
Yeah, I think it's something to do with the fuel control that you could have it set up to do it. I know like Jet Lag, Meyer, he's got it set up that he does a little bit of a flame show with it.
Yeah.
But the only time you'll see a flame out of ours is if we give it a little extra fuel when we hit the igniter. But we don't.
Yeah, that's not a natural occurrence from a turbine. Is the flame? That's all for show.
Yeah,
it's really
Kason,
cool.
Kason, next year, like at a big pull like Rock Valley or something, can I get a couple wieners and put them on a stick and you come out and can we light it up a little bit or get some marshmallows?
It'll get done pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be funny. Like Ron's announcing and I come running out of the announcer stand with like a couple of hot dogs on a stick and you hit that button. I think the crowd would really like that. So my luck, the damn hot dog would fall off the stick and fall down in your turbine and then your dad would be mad at me and then your grandpa's yelling at me and then all the patches I wouldn't be able to come to Christmas anymore. That would hurt. That hurt. So.
Yeah, it might have a slight kerosene type taste to it, Jason. I bet.
Yeah, I lost my sense of smell like 10 years ago in 1999. I hit my head, so food doesn't taste that well anyway. So I think I can get past it. So.
We're learning new things here tonight, Kason. We're learning new things.
Outlawed with Ron Stone. There are no rules. I mean, kind of like I don't want to make Kurt or Dave or Ron mad, but other than that, we just kind of say what happens. You know what I'm saying? So.
Now, Kason, you broke the tractor in Colorado. Tell us what happened there.
Well, that actually started in Wisner. Broke the pedal. The pedals were built for my dad, not for me. My leg strength is way more than his, and I just went to push on it. And the push rod that runs back to the master cylinder broke. So we thought we had it fixed. Go out to Colorado. My dad puts me on the sideline. I'm riding it. I hit it pretty good once again. It was going to come back. It wanted to, but I felt that brake starting to fade a little bit. Well, then it broke on me and I went out of bounds.
You were hooked.
You
Like,
were.
all of us in announcer stand looked at each other like he's rolling.
Yeah.
He's rolling.
Oh, the bad part is, Cameron Neves, I think, had something happen and the door was open, but I ended up having a mechanical failure myself and got DQ'd. So
Yeah, you were definitely on a run. That was unfortunate for sure, but
it was a fun ride too.
Austin Thurby says there's parts all over in Ukraine. Austin, I don't know if that's politically correct, but probably not lying. Probably not lying. So.
Yeah, a lot of that's probably Russian jet stuff and turbine stuff, but that's
What size tires and PSI do you run on your rig? Steven's wondering. You don't have to answer any of these questions, Casey, if there's any big secrets or anything like that. You can just put your hand up and say, that's family secrets. So
Not 100% sure on the tire size and tire pressure. My dad deals with a lot of that. And
well, it's definitely 30.5.
100% sure where we run them. So
yeah, definitely 30.5s in the mod class. Yep.
How much preparation and maintenance is actually required on the tractor? That's always kind of been an ongoing joke between the piston guys and the turbine guys. What do you guys have to do between pulls to get ready for the next hook?
We definitely, again, charge the batteries. Again, as much as that's a joke around, it's something we have to do. Otherwise, we can't get enough power to that starter to start it. And I kind of, in Wisner, the second night, that was kind of a prime example. I started that thing like 3 different times. And the third time I went to start it, I knew the battery voltage was low and it struggled to start. So definitely charging the batteries and just making sure the oil level's good in it too. Other than that, they're pretty low maintenance.
You guys run at military spec RPM, is that right? Or
I think we're running it a little higher.
a little hotter than
I know I think the stock horsepower on it is 3850.
Okay.
And again, we're pushing about 45 on it.
Has your dad or grandpa ever pulled against or met Art Arfons or Dusty or any of the Arfons at all?
See, I don't know the Arfons, so I couldn't tell you.
We're going to give you a history lesson.
Art Arfons was like the father of turbine pulling. I actually met him, but I was very, very young. And I wish I had it here. I have I guess you would call it a hero card from like 1974 or 5 from Art Arfons. And basically it's just a piece of paper that has a picture of him in black and white in front of the tractor and gives all the stats on the tractor. It's pretty cool.
And I'm glad you mentioned the hero cards or whatever, but I think the young guns are doing something like that with each young gun. They're taking like cards with our picture and our tractor and putting like different facts and stuff on there. So I think that is one new thing I think they're going to do for this next season.
Very cool. Now this is a later green monster. Those are two 264s.
I've seen that tractor a few times.
I'll dig deeper, ladies. Just relax. It's the first video that came up. So
what?
I took that the wrong way. I know. You're picking on me a little bit.
I was not picking on you. I was just.
See, if I ran out there with some hot dogs, Kaysen, that would be funny as hell. I'm not lying. We're gonna do that next year. So we're doing that some. Grandpa's coming in. Fred says I have met Art many times. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Art also broke the Land World Speed record a couple of times with a turbine-powered car. So, is
it Tim and Dusty were his kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we had them on Let's Grow Pulling within the last 6 months, and they talked a lot about the the TNT, the USHRA days, stuff like that. So, like Kaysen, can you look at a turbine and just know what it is? Kind of like I can look at a mortgage and know what it is, or how do you do that?
I mean, I can tell the difference between a 53 and a 55.
Okay, tell me
what about the only two I've ever really been around to be able to tell you the difference in them. So
okay. Now, in all honesty, you'd be mad at me because I don't know the difference between a helicopter and an airplane turbine. Can you break that down for us, simple people from Wisconsin?
Sure. So, like the airplane engines, all that thrust comes out the back of the motor.
Okay.
All the air is being sucked in from the front. Where on the helicopter motors, like on the airplane engines, that's what's forcing all the air back. The N2 has a shaft on the helicopter motors that runs out the back of the motor, and that's what spins propellers. And the propellers is what gives it that thrust to get off the ground.
So all of the stuff we see in Poland all come from helicopters, then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In
So what's
some way or another, yes.
so like Gardner Stone, the General Stage 4, it's got four. Did he have 453s or 455s on there? Do you guys know?
Ooh.
When he ran unlimited?
I would think those were 55s or maybe even 64s.
What's the biggest one you've seen on a Poland tractor, Kaysen?
Probably the 56 or whatever Ron was just talking about it.
Those are 64s, I think.
Yeah,
64s on Art's tractor. I think probably in the U.S. those are probably the biggest.
Yeah, that's about the biggest I've seen on a tractor.
I could be wrong.
You said yours was in a Huey?
No, ours was out of a Chinook. The T53s is out of a Huey.
Okay.
Chinooks have the twin propellers. They can pick up pretty much anything. They call them something else in military speak, but we'll just call it a Chinook here. So, yeah, the Europeans, they have all kind of wild stuff over there. I mean, they even have Russian motors and stuff in some of their tractors. Gardner Stone had T55s, Kyle said.
And you have 153, right?
We just
he has a 55.
Yeah,
you have 155. Okay. So there's a Chinook. There's a Chinook helicopter. So the turbines are right here then?
Yeah, the turbines there, so that cylinder-looking thing on the side, that's where the turbines are.
And there's one on each side, obviously.
Yep, one on each side.
And then that powers the propeller blades.
Yep.
Wow. Those things are massive.
Yeah, at Husker Harvest Days in Grand Island, they always have one there. And I actually sat there and talked to the pilot for quite a while. I threw him off with me throwing some turbine mechanic stuff at him, and he looked at me. He's like, "How do you know what that is?" I had to mess with him for a little while.
Pacing, can we put some machine guns on the front of Thermal Thunder like this Chinook has, maybe? Maybe some fake ones?
Why do I feel like Boyson would frown on that?
We'll run that. We'll sneak that through tech, okay? I'll tech your guys' tractor next year. So
I know a guy, Kaysen. I know a guy. I think we're good. It's all in who you know, buddy.
Yeah.
No, I saw.
We're doing the hot dog thing. Just Petches, get ready. Ron, you're gonna be like, Jason, I'm hungry. I'm like, oh man, you know what tastes so good right now? A couple of hot dogs. And I'm gonna come boogieing out of that announcer stand. Kurt Van Beek's gonna hand me, a couple hot dogs on the shtick, and I'm gonna go out there and we're gonna have some fun with that. You hit that switch, Kaysen, and I'll be like, whoa, and the crowd's gonna go wild. I'm telling you, Ron.
His dad's got to install a flame show on there so you can get the fire coming out.
Oh, we already got this. It's a little switch. It's a little switch, a little extra fuel. They got this figured out. A little extra kerosene.
Yeah, I saw that Gardner Stone tractor when I was 17, 18 years old at the Ohio State Fair. And it was amazing. After he went down the tractor stopped. And then you started hearing, because this was in the middle of the day, and you could hear the dirt actually starting to hit the aluminum bleachers. It was like rain. Like seconds after he stopped, it's like, holy smoke, they threw so much dirt up in the air, so high in the air. It was crazy. Those big lugs back then, they're pretty amazing, though, all those turbines on there. So, yeah, Jason, what he was talking, you're talking about the T55s and the T64s and T53s. It gets even more complicated because there's different versions of those motors themselves too, right? You have the L11, T53, and I mean, how many generations are there, Kaysen? There's tons of them, right?
Yeah, there's a lot in there. So, like, I think Cody, he's putting, they passed the rule in that light mod class. He can run a T55 L7, which is, I think, just a size smaller than our 55, but we run the 11D. So,
and like in that light, speaking of that light modified class, there's one twin turbine tractor in there. Those are T53s, but are those L11s?
I think so.
Yeah.
Kaysen, where do you squirt the ether when you start it? That's what I want to know.
There's no ether.
What?
Turbines are a lot easier to start than diesels.
Are they? The question on the screen is, what do you guys use to start your turbine?
Just
Go ahead, Casey.
really all it is for us to start it is battery power and just that giant starter on the front. We'll hit the starter and we'll take it up to the percent that we want it to idle at. So.
Go back and watch some old video of turbines pulling back in the late 70s, early 80s, casing it. When the turbine tractors came out, everybody wanted to see them because it was such a neat deal. And they were
there was one.
But it seemed like it was a big deal to get them started. They would pull them out on the track, and there was like a starter vehicle. It'd be a little Jeep or something just full of batteries, and it seemed like it took forever to get them started back then. But now it doesn't seem like it's that big a deal anymore.
No, I think, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think it kind of comes down to just the turbine itself on what kind of turbine it is. Some of them may not have an onboard starter like ours does.
Okay. Yeah, it always seemed like it took forever, but it was always cool to see those turbines. Of course, a lot of them had the flame show back then too. Like
I've watched a couple of videos from like overseas. There was one. It took him quite a while to get it started. I mean, he had a cart right there with batteries and a starter to start it. It took him a while to get it started.
We're going to get you a battery sponsor case, and we're going to work on that. So, whether it's Energizer or somebody, we're going to have a little fun with this. So, or maybe I can get a hot dog company, or something.
I guarantee you, my dad and grandpa are shaking their heads on the other side of the screen.
Shaking yes, like this is a great idea, Jason.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay, thank you, Jason. I'm really low on self-confidence today, so I like the fact that you're playing along, buddy. So.
Well, an Oscar Mayer Wiener sponsorship wouldn't be bad.
Yeah,
I mean, the turbine.
Hey, they're based. I think they have a plant in Madison, guys. Madison, Wisconsin, like an hour to my east. So.
Yeah, I mean, they used to put Busch cans and Pepsi cans wrapped around the turbine. Back in the day, they put like a hot dog bun wrapped around there and make it.
Kason, whenever you want good ideas, you just come on Outlawed with Ron Stone. I mean, the fact that you're writing all these down is really impressive. Ron and I, we have a private chat actually, and Ron just said, "Man, I can't believe Kason head down writing down all these great ideas. We should start charging for this, Jason." And I said, "I know, it's amazing, but we're just, we love the sport. We're just here to give. We're givers, Kason. We just
with the 15%
commission, giving."
15%. All novel ideas. Yep. So let's go back and talk about the young guns a little bit more. Do we have any new young guns joining for 2023?
Yeah, Lane Paulson, the Daley Paulson's brother, he's pulling on the sibling rivalry. And I think Gage Ott had a friend I think was going to drive. He had a friend with him at the Outlaw meeting at Banquet. I think he said he was going to drive. Which one he's driving, I don't know which one he's driving. But I feel like I'm missing one. If I am, someone tell me, because I feel like I am.
Did we lose anybody? Did anybody get too old?
Yeah, I think Burgundy Freeze, is not a young gun anymore. Austin Weisenkamp. So they all hit that 25 mark. So
okay. So we lost a couple, gained a few. I will tell you this program, the way it took off, I think there's some other organizations that wish they would have come up with this first, I mean, and Dave Nelson even sent me a message one day and I had seen it too, but where one of the drag racing organizations now has a group of young guns, if you will, that they call it 30 under 30. There are 30 drag racers under the age of 30, which, I mean, if it takes off like it did for us, I think it's great for any organization. But I think, Case, in the way you took to it, I love it the way you jumped in and the stuff you're doing. You're putting out the little things about the rules and everything. You've really gotten into pulling, I think, hardcore. Do you think that this Young Guns program has really lit your fire for pulling?
Yeah, I mean, I always had a fire for it, but that fire, it grew bigger after that first pass in Texas.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, you're hooked for life, Case, and all it takes is one, and then it's over. So then it's over in a good way, Kason.
I think there might have been a renewed vigor in your grandpa too. I think he's really excited about seeing you out there pulling and helping you pull week in and week out. Don't you think?
Yeah, 3 generations.
And he's very, very proud of you, Kaysen. I mean, you don't always get to hear him in the announcer stand, but always speaks highly of you. So does a good job. Here's a picture of the young guns that were at the banquet. So,
Yeah, that would have been at the meeting that they had there. Honestly, it was more of a get together, but it was a good time.
Can you pick out the Texas boy in the group?
Yeah, I see Connor Medding. Yep, I see him.
Yeah, there's Lane back there. I see Lane back there. Yeah.
Yep.
Now Lane, he's what, 16, or he's going to be 16?
Yeah.
So of course now the Paulsons are not going to be running that unlimited anymore. That alcohol super. They're going to 2 limited pros, right?
I think so. I don't know what Lauren's doing.
Yeah, I've been told they're going to campaign the 241s. So.
Yeah. More competition for you, Jason.
Yeah, that's all I need. I'm still broke from Wisner, so we'll talk about that on a different show. So
I heard you talking about it already. It ended up being worse than what.
It's bad. Like it's a complete rebuild. So
ouch.
I have some decisions to make. And when I make my announcement, it's going to be like when LeBron James went to the Miami Heat and he said, "Not 1, not 2." But so yeah, we're gonna have some fun with it, Ron. You're gonna help me with it. So
Good deal. So has Kelsey jumped backstage yet?
she has not.
No.
Nobody. I think she's scared of Kaysen, to be honest, because he's kind of look at him. He's a big wrestler. He's a big wrestler. He'll put you in a headlock. So.
Big
She's
strap and
a
rack.
manager for a wrestling team. I think she'd be used to people like me.
Hey, Kaysen, best hair in the Young Guns.
Oh.
Who has the best hair? Not Ron. Who and out of the Young Guns, who has the best hair?
I don't know. Can I toot my own horn?
Yeah, let's see it. Take your hat off.
It's kind of a mess right now.
Flowing locks.
It worked before this. I didn't know we were doing a hair competition.
You got to get you some product in there, Kaysen.
Then you little,
Oh, I got product. It's just hair gel.
Is that a competition now? You guys were talking about that last night.
Yep, we're getting into. We're actually going to do. Every association is going to nominate their top 3 best hair and best mustache. We're going to do NTPA versus PPL versus Outlaws, and then we're going to turn it into a big vote.
Oh, we've got the mustache category 1.
Yeah, Dusty Berry, that's going to
Can
be
we
tough.
enter Dusty Berry and Jake Miller? Can we enter them both?
And then once you challenge the Dusty, he'll do it. He'll make it happen. It's a special thing. He'll put some wax on there and.
Look at the comments that we got on that picture on the Outlaw page from
It's a lot of fun.
that picture of Dusty.
Yep, that's a lot of fun.
That was cool.
A lot of fun.
Cool.
Kaysen, as an outlaw puller and growing up around the sport, what other classes do you enjoy, or are you just all mod and everything else sucks?
No, the modified 2-wheel drive class is a fun class to watch. Like I'll watch that class all day. The semis when we have them, that's also a fun class to watch. I haven't seen that class in a little while.
Well, Mr. Stone's bringing it back this year, Kaysen.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it was Wayne. I think was on that schedule for Wayne.
Yeah, Mark Ham says Roper Brown has the best hair. Yeah, he's rocking the mullet. Roper is. We have the mullet competition every once in a while. We did it at Wisner last year. That was really cool. Yeah,
dude, I'm so excited about cooking bratwurst and on Kaysen's turban. I can't wait. I don't even know if he could stop me, Ron. I think I could get away with it once. I run out there and just real quick over the top of it and be on my way. So
yeah, I could kind of mention something that was kind of embarrassing for me to say as an announcer several years ago. I think it was I don't know if it was a tractor or a 2-wheel drive truck blower, a motor, and it was burning off the excess flames. And I said something about the flames and said, get your wieners out. And it's like, well, that didn't sound right.
No, get your hot dogs out.
I should have said marshmallows would have been better, but your mind had to be in the gutter, I guess.
That's good though, Ron, because I've never said anything ever stupid over a microphone. So it's I've
never heard any difference. So
I really feel like, I feel like you've taken that first, that first step is denial, Ron. And I feel like you're on your way.
Yeah, that's been a few years back.
Kaysen, what's the coolest thing that maybe a fan or another puller said to you about the Young Gun program?
Oh, I get a lot of feedback just saying like it's a cool program, recognize the youth for stepping up. And it's repetitive. It's about the only feedback I get on it.
No, that's fine. I was just curious, like, if you had any special stories and something like that. But I know a lot of our legends, like our Mark Ulmer, they're jealous that you young guns are getting all the attention. Ron and I were going to call them the old guys, but we decided not to. So, like when we when we announce with your grandpa, what do we say? Stuff like mature legends, and then Fred's always like, "You're calling me old." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's a nice way of calling you old, Fred. It makes me feel better. I can sleep well tonight." No, and I didn't pick on you. I just said you're a legend. So we're gonna have to bring out the legends now too, Ron. So.
Yeah, we're still working on that, getting the Legends series going. The Legends, the older guys, some of them aren't real crazy about coming on and getting interviewed. You kind of have to ambush them sometimes. Jason, you know that.
Yes, I do.
Done it to ambush some of
I have.
Legends in their trailers. It's like you don't have a choice.
You just walk in with a camera case and say, "Hey, what's going on, guys?" And then you just start talking to them and interview them. That's the only way to get it done. That's the only.
No, but that is cool about the Outlaws too. Is you've got, of course, all these people, all these great pullers in between. But man, you've got these young pullers, 16, 17, 18 years old. Then you got these guys who've been pulling, like your Gary Whipp's been pulling for 52, 53 years. It's so cool that, from one end of the spectrum to the other, it's just a super cool thing with the Outlaws.
These are some of my favorite, young gun things with the money match. Ron, I don't remember exactly how it went, but I felt like the Outlaws matched and it went to the F. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Kaysen, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. So, like, there in that photo is the $1,000 check.
There's Big Stud Kaysen right there. In case, see my mouse, guys? That's Kaysen Petch. So.
Yeah. So the Young Guns wanted to donate $500 to each state that a Young Gun was from, and Titan wanted to match that donation, then equal $1,000. So each state's FFA organization got a $1,000 check. So Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa, Texas, South Dakota, all those FFA organizations got a donation of $1,000.
It's awesome. You do it right there at the track like that. That's pretty cool. Who's the fella in the beard right there? He's not a Young Gun, is he?
No, that would be Weisenkamp.
Okay, gotcha.
He was, right? Wasn't he a Young Gun before?
Yeah, he was a Young Gun. Well, he got it.
I was going to say, it's like that kid in the Major League World Series, always Ron, from Puerto Rico, and he's like 6'9" and has a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and they say he's 12.
Yeah. It has a better mustache. Then
the kid standing behind me in the gray hat there, he's, you could say our crew chief, and he's also the vice president of our FFA organization, too.
Oh, cool.
Very cool. Very cool. No, it's so neat to see you guys do all this stuff. I love it. Absolutely love it.
What in the heck was that? Go back.
Oh, we took a picture of Doug and we put a mustache on him. And then we did a, okay, pulling fans, let's see your best Dusty Berry impersonation. And then we put that out there. So we were down in Florida at the Zellwood pull. Hope, you give Hope a phone and a couple drinks, and this is the kind of stuff. She loves her Dougie. So that's what happens a little bit. I was doing a search for Young Guns. Here we go. So.
You just put a general Young Gun search out there, or Outlaw?
Yeah. I'll do this. Here's some pictures I wanted. There we go. So that's Wisner again. This looks like Iowa State Fair.
Yep.
Yep. There's our Titan Tiger people. There's the radio guy that we let announce. I can't remember his name.
Cool. Dang it. Yeah.
The Big Show. The Big Show. The Big Show.
He's going to be announcing Mercer this year.
Is
I know
he?
for sure he's announcing Mercer. Yeah.
Cool. The Big Show. But, it's got Outlaw Young Guns right on the checks, Titan International. That's so cool that they jumped on board with you guys on that.
Yeah, what a great sponsor. Yeah, Titan Tire.
Here would be Texas.
Yep, White Red.
And Kaysen, you were everywhere, dude. How many states did you hit this summer, buddy?
Well, let's see. For the donations, I think about the only 2 that I didn't make was Missouri and South Dakota.
Okay.
So,
And then we're running the Young Gun program with the Heartland division as well, right, Stone?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
They're running that over there, and I think that's your responding to that question there,
Yeah.
basically about Jazz Henderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe she is. She was in that group photo from the banquet, the get together we had at the banquet there.
So there's Nebraska, Iowa, Texas. I got to find some more pictures here. This would have been at the Farm Machinery Show. Is that Taryn or is that Daly?
that'd be Daly.
That's Daly and Connor and the gal from Titan Tire. I can't think of her name off top, but she's pretty cool. I talked to her at the state fair.
Kim, right? Isn't it Kim?
Yeah, I don't know if Dave Nelson's watching that. Usually he comments, but he must be out farming. So I talked to him earlier today about Outlawed TV, but we didn't talk much about this. So so that was at Louisville there. And obviously Titan Tire's back on board again this year, right, Ron? Have you heard anything different?
Nope. Everything's
Well, and I read a chat. I think Kaysen's right. They're going to have the hero cards for all the young guns, and I think Titan was going to print those up. I think Kaysen's spot on with that. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's something I think I would encourage all pulling teams to do. I mean, as a reach out to the fans, the kids. I mean, Jason, you probably did it when you were a kid. You went looking for those hero cards in the pits.
Yep. It's like trick or treating, baby.
Yeah. Our polling team has those that we hand out, sign.
Good.
Right.
Good.
This was a future young gun post we put on the Outlaw page. That's what makes it fun too. Future young guns and life in the pits. It's been really fun to do all this stuff, to get the kids because they got their little young gun t-shirts on and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Makes it fun. And here was Daly's run at Louisville last year, 2022. I think this is your video, Ron. Were you sitting up there? Was that you?
I was in that corner, so
pretty sure that's your video, buddy.
Yeah, I think so.
Here's okay, yeah, I was looking for this. Here's our Outlaw, our Heartland division. Heartland division. So how did Van Beek get in there? He's no young gun.
Yeah, and the other guy on the other end, he's definitely not a young gun either.
And I got both of them in there. So
Greg Lucetto over there. He's holding a future young gun.
He holds a future young gun. Yep.
Yeah.
I like that. Now this has been
that old guy there, that Van Beek guy. He definitely is not a young.
Van Beek's dressed as stylish like the young guys, but the hair gives it away. The hair gives it away, right, Jason?
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, don't.
Fukerberg.
He says, Jason, are you ready for 2023?
Oh yeah, I was ready once the 22 season ended.
Kaysen, how many times did you kick Vo's butt last summer?
Well, I could go pull it up on the app, but
I think we talked this little smack talk. This next section of Outlawed with Ron Stone, little smack talk between you and Doug Voth, the Griffin Growl down there in Texas. So.
Now that's where you're talking about our German friend in Texas, Zook Fukerberg.
Luke Fugelberger, yeah. He likes potato salad. So
bring it on, Doug.
Oh, he said, "Bring it on, Doug."
Doug's a big boy, Kaysen. We might have to have our first cage match, or what's that WW? What's the popular thing now with that Joe Rogan announces? Mixed martial arts.
Oh, MMA, yeah.
Yeah. There's a picture of you, Kaysen, right before you said, "Oops."
Yeah.
I think it already went through my mind when that picture was taken.
Dude, you were hooked that night. I mean, we all in the announcer stand were like, "Holy crap!" Yeah, that's a cool photo.
I had first place in sight, but
yep, we saw it coming. We saw it coming. We thought you were going to get a win there that night. But
I love where you put your Outlaw stickers on the inside of your fender well like that. That's cool. I noticed that in your one video that you did earlier. Voth says he's too old to fight. He's giving in, Kaysen. He's giving in, buddy.
I was talking about fighting on the dirt track with our pulling vehicles, but okay.
Right. Whatever.
Well, Jason was bringing up MMA and all that,
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Jason's just looking for cheap entertainment.
Yep. That's why, Kason, I'm the color guy. You know, Ron's the main guy, and I'm the color guy. So
Jason's not a fighter; he's a dancer, though.
I'm a lover.
He's
not a fighter. Lover, not a fighter.
and a dancer too.
Is wrestling still in the lead on that vote that we were doing earlier?
Yeah, it's 2-0. Nobody's even voted for basketball at all. So
here's a poll we can throw up there, Jason. I mean, let's throw it up there on how many people we got watching tonight. But for those folks that go to Wisner, Nebraska, who would vote to have a third session at Wisner, like a Thursday night?
Okay. Who wants
Thunder by the River?
A Thursday night Thunder by the River.
Now, of course, the pullers pulling on Wednesday at the Iowa State Fair are probably going to say, heck no, but we would not run those pullers there on Thursday night if it was if that were to happen. We would not take those Wednesday Iowa State Fair pullers and run them on Thursday night in Wisner. It's just Wisner has a lot of classes and not enough time to run all those classes. I think we're running 24 classes there per session. So they're looking for a way to not have to drop any classes, and that is an option. Now, there's only a couple of pulls in the outlaw season, I think, where that could be pulled off, and I think that's probably Wisner and Rock Valley. I think those are the only two events where they could possibly successfully pull that off. Of course, Rock Valley has the day session on Saturday, but adding a weeknight session, I think very few pulls could probably pull that off successfully.
Todd Vaughn says, why not? Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Is this a scientific poll we're doing here? Can we give this information?
I went through the chat. I can we can make a website real quick and do a whole poll.
Oh no, I meant just to give to the folks at Wisner. Maybe they're watching those. I think they're actually having a meeting tonight. So.
Ooh, Austin Fluid says Thursday night at Rock Valley, skip Saturday noon session.
Oh. Who else? Let's see it. What do you think, Kason?
I mean, the Thursday night at Rock Valley, I would like that. That's just me. That's just more seat time.
Thursday night at Rock Valley would be badass, Ron. Not gonna lie. That would be awesome. I mean, when you get to these destination polls, your Wisners, your Rock Valleys, the camping, a lot of people are already there anyway, Ron. So.
Yeah. Rock Valley would probably be harder because have you been there early, Jason?
Yeah, because they got to clear out the parking lot for all the bales.
It's a
I forgot about that.
That would be the hardest part about doing it at Rock Valley. So I don't see Rock Valley changing, but I think there is potential for Wisner to do it. And Wisner used to have a day session, if I remember right. I think they did have a.
They used to have an afternoon session, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Kason, this is something your school did, right, bud?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah. So, I'll tell you where it started. We were just sitting in the auditorium one morning, and the guy that he does articles like student spotlights and everything. A lot of times it's the seniors that he recognizes. But they were looking for something different, so he came over, asked me a few questions. I went in after school, and we talked back and forth for quite a while. Within a few weeks, the article was up, and it was pretty much just talking about my first season in the seat.
But did this make it outside of the school publications? Did it make it into the?
Yeah. So we live in Seward County in Nebraska, so it made the Seward County paper, and it also made the front cover of the Milford paper.
That's awesome. And that kind of thing is great. It's great for you, Kason, recognizing you and your family, and your dedication to pulling. It's great for the Outlaws, and it's great for the sport.
Our school thinks it's the coolest thing ever. Like, I think my principal and superintendent might come to Wayne to watch because that'll be probably about our closest one.
Awesome. That'd be awesome. Yeah, that's awesome for the sport. That's just good all the way around. That's a great picture too.
Yeah, they also, when me and Dusty won the Rookie of the Year award, they took the picture of me and Dave Bennett and posted that on there.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Recognize that.
So what are you going to do when you graduate high school? Do you have an idea what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm looking into going into welding or manufacturing. So just anything in manufacturing. There's a place about 20 minutes away from Milford that I've been looking at, possibly applying to. So
nice.
I'm already
your dad's like an IT guy or something, right?
Yeah, something like that. He works with computers.
One of the smart guys. Can you see the comments there?
Yep, I can see them.
Okay.
Here's just some Young Gun photos, guys. I'm just whipping through the Outlaw Facebook page from last year. So Mark Ham says, shout out to Rock Valley on celebrating 20 years. Hashtag Thunder 20.
20 years of Thunder in the Valley. Awesome.
Love it, love it, love it.
That's one of those pulls. They're just constantly, trying to make it better,
Yeah.
They're constantly meeting and wanting to make, that the better. I'm sure their goal is to make it the best pull in the country. That's their goal there.
I don't know why you want to try.
That one I look forward to every year.
What's your favorite pull? Is that Rock Valley? Is that your favorite?
It's a toss-up between Rock Valley and Wisner. I mean, they both put on great shows. And
I like Wisner until I blew my tractor up there. I'm just going to say that out there out loud. So it's all good.
It sounds like a personal problem, Jason.
Yeah, well, I know, Kason, but we're talking about opinions. Case and I like you a lot. We're going to hang out a little bit more.
And Jason got there like really late, right? You got there like really late. You were parked way out there.
We had to go to Hearts after the Iowa State Fair when we didn't have the zip tie tight all the way, and it pulled it out, and they were worried about the turbo exploding. So I hauled butt for Fayette right after the State Fair, and then by the time I got everything looked over and replaced, I rolled in like 2 hours before the pull, and we were parked, I swear, out by the grain bins. We were out in the hood, if you know what I'm saying. If Wisner had a hood, we were in it. So
yeah, I remember you trying to explain to me where you were at, and I was like, I didn't see the grain bins. I was looking around, and I was like, I don't know where the heck he's at.
Yep. Here's the FFA presentation from Mountain City, Kansas.
Yep.
The pull down there. So that was fun. They did a great job. The Paddock, the hometown of the Paddock Young Guns.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Yeah, the Young Gun thing is cool. I just love the fact that you're giving it back. It's just awesome. Giving back to the communities and Titan Tire getting involved with that. That's pretty neat. So.
Yeah. Well, Kason, we'll let you off the hook here, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Do you have anything else to add, about the Young Guns? I mean, as far as the upcoming season coming?
I don't think so.
What does
I'm sure as stuff comes out, I'll post it on social media. So
what's the 1, 2, 3 mean here?
So that was in Wayne, Nebraska. Kelsey and Daly got second, and I ended up with a third place finish.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that Wayne pull is getting pretty big. That's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. So, all right, Kason, buddy, thank you for coming on.
Kason, are you doing a spring sport?
Yeah, golf.
Hey, are you a good golfer, or do you just do it because it's fun?
Yes.
What do you like? What do you normally shoot? What do you normally shoot?
Oh, high 30s, low 40s.
Good. I do not want to golf against you then, but I will drive the cart, so it's all good. I'm a mid 40s, possibly depends if we did shots ahead of time, low 50s kind of a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Did you guys go golfing in Colorado when we were there?
We did not. Your dad did?
My mom and dad did, yeah.
Yeah, that looked like a hell of a course.
They pretty much said if you slice it off the 10 tee box, you're going to put it through Kevin's windshield of the iron.
That would be bad.
Well,
can you imagine lining up over your putt and Kason flips on the turbine switch and What is that? Everybody hits the ground. So
Did you see all the golfers that were stopping on the cart path just to watch a little bit? Did you notice that?
it was neat.
That was pretty cool.
It was neat. Kaysen, you're a fine young man. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for representing the young guns, you and everybody like that. And thanks for having a sense of humor. It makes the interviews a lot of fun, buddy. So, all right, go to bed. Okay, get out of here. So,
Thanks, Kaysen. Have a good night, buddy.
Kaysen Petch, everybody. That was fun. Those young guns, Ron.
He's a modified tractor star after his first season. He's
huge.
I do appreciate those things that they're doing with those little fun facts, on the rules and stuff.
Yeah.
And they package
When I see them, I try, like you do, I try to share them to the Outlaw page, Ron. They're neat. Yeah.
First thing I do when I see him is I make sure you haven't beat me to the punch and put him up first. I think
It
I've
all
done that
depends.
before. I think we've double posted the same thing before. I had to go back and delete. But
just depends upon the day. Some days they say I'm not going to look at social media till after 5. And then some days I look at it at 8 in the morning, and that's all I do for the first 4 hours of my day. So I got to be careful. It's very addicting. It's very
big thanks to Kaysen Petch for coming on. Sorry we couldn't get Kelsey Davidson on. She had a CPR class tonight. So at least we know if one of us goes down at the pool, somebody is there that's certified that can bring us back. But she's in CPR class, and she's the co-chair of the Young Guns, Kelsey Davidson. So we'll get her on another time.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, so what's this other sweep you're talking about when you came on? First of all, thanks for coming on Let's Grow Pulling Live last night. That was that was our big 3. And to me, as the host of Let's Grow Pulling, that's my biggest show ever, to have legit the NTPA, the Outlaw, and the Pro Pulling League all on the same show. That made me extremely proud. And Charles and Ryan, and then Cody came on later. But you represent the Outlaws very well, Ron, and it was fun to come on it and see that. And Greg Randall stayed in the green room the whole show. He listened to your whole thing, and John Mears. So he did a good job there. So
yeah, I'm hoping Greg is watching tonight. Greg is a huge Raiders fan. And I wished I would have had this handy last night. I could have worn it for Greg, but
if you text me a picture of you wearing that, or do you have Randall's cell phone number?
I don't think I have his number. I think I'm friends.
I'll get you his cell. You text him that picture. He'll like that a lot. So
we talked about it a little bit at the Full Pull Vets meeting we had there, but he's a diehard.
You're coming to the Pullers Championship this year, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
You told me I was. So
I know, but I plan on you helping doing the little trackside announcing and just whatever else we need. So we're 10 weeks away from that thing, Ron. I can't freaking believe it.
Pulling season. Tomorrow's March. Tomorrow is March. You better get to hopping on your tractor there, my friend.
Yeah, it's not happening this year.
Really? It's not happening. Yeah. Okay.
No, I have a big announcement to make, but I need to. I'm changing classes. How about that?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So
the rumor was true, huh?
The rumor is true. I guess I can talk about it. It's not that big of a secret. So I'm faced with either rebuilding my 4.1, or I can sell my rolling chassis or keep my rolling chassis. But I have always wanted a diesel super my whole life. And there's this guy named Doug Meisinger from Goodland, Kansas. And he's really good at building diesel supers. And he's going to build me a diesel super. It's probably, we're hoping to have a chassis this winter. And then Doug and I are going to buy a trailer together and be trailer mates. And my tractor's going to go wherever his. I love the Outlaws. I love diesel supers. I want to keep that class alive. And I don't know what I'm going to do with my chassis yet. I haven't decided. I've had a couple people say they want to buy it.
Dude, this is like breaking news here.
It kind of is. I wasn't going to do this tonight. But there's really nothing to hide. Ron, when you're faced with completely rebuilding the entire tractor, because you guys remember, I took 5th gear out of it in Rockwell, Iowa, the night before Nebraska.
West Point?
Yeah.
Weeping Water, West Point. Yeah.
We drove all the way back to Tony's, and he looked everything over, and then we didn't have 5th gear the rest of the year after that. And then the differentials were screwed up the last back half of the season, and then Wisner it destroyed everything. I mean, everything, block, everything. And that's a big number. And I've always wanted a diesel super. So, and I still have a really good rolling chassis, with the ag chassis. And I ordered a component chassis a year ago. I got put on the list. And kind of, I always knew I wanted to move up a class. And Doug and I have been talking for quite a while. And I have nothing but respect for Doug Meisinger and what he's done with Scrappy, and everybody that knows me knows that I have no mechanical ability at all. And to have Doug build the tractor, be there when it starts, Ron, like we're going to be like I'm going to be Doug's little, like I said, are you ready for me to be your little brother? And he said, yeah, I am. So we're hoping to have a chassis this winter. I have no time frame on it at this point, but yeah, it's just time. It's just time. So I'm really excited. It's something I've always wanted to do. And man, Meisinger makes Scrappy run. I mean, it just runs. And obviously you're not going to have a season like that every year, but I have ultimate faith in him to put that together. So I talked to him and Jeanette, and they said, yeah, we'll do this. So we'll get a trailer together, and wherever Scrappy goes is where my tractor will go. So I'm
well, I mean, even I think when you look at the way that tractor performs, I think what's even more incredible is how he makes it last.
Yeah.
I mean, he's figured it out, and it could be kind of the savior of the class. I mean, that class has kind of died, nationally over the years just because there's no longevity in the class. I mean, you guys that class, they're pushing the machinery way, way past its limits, and they're just ticking time bombs. That's the way I refer to them as. They're grenades with the pins pulled, just waiting to blow.
Well, and that's kind of like, well, I've blown up a 4.1. I might as well go blow up a diesel super. So that's just kind of, I mean, I know it sounds, I'm not trying to be dumb, but I'm like, you can blow up anything anymore. We're pushing those 4.1s so hard. And I don't know. I just, as a kid, just all I remember is diesel supers. And, Dad tried it for a year. We just did not have any luck at all. It would have been 2014 or 15. I don't remember. Blackjack Double Down is now Taylor Van Beek's Extreme Pleasure, that Agco sheet metal. And I've been thinking about this for quite a while. And when I ordered the chassis originally, I was thinking Pro Stock. That
was
I live in Wisconsin, and I don't, the Texas guys are gonna be like, screw you, Schultz. But the 5.0 class it's not going to be big in Wisconsin, and I don't see it being big in Wisconsin ever, Ron. The Badger State pros are really tough. I mean, they like their big stuff. And the Outlaws have such a dominant with the 5.0, and I think we'll see it probably take off a little bit out east, with some Indiana and Ohio guys. I know there's some stuff doing that, but there's just something cool about a diesel super stock. And
definitely.
And to have, like I said, for it to go with Doug everywhere, and if I'm not there, or and if my dad doesn't show up to drive it, Doug's going to drive it. It's not like it's just going to park. I need a trailer mate. I need somebody that listens to it, listens to it. And Tony, my engine builder for my 4.1, he's a big time farmer, and he just can't leave the farm like that. And I want to run more than just Badger State now with beer money. I want to go, go everywhere we can. And I love the diesel super class, and I'm hoping I can. It isn't going to hurt having Beer Money Pulling Team having a diesel super stock if we can keep it on the track. So
there it is. Breaking news tonight.
Yeah.
Here, last day of February.
Like I said, we're probably, minimum of a year and a half out on this. So no tractor this summer. That's okay though, because outlawpulling.tv, we took that over. I really want to take that to the next level. My team and you guys having a tractor or a truck is a distraction it takes a lot.
Oh yeah.
And for somebody with attention deficit disorder, when you got social media and announcing and this and that, it's going to be great to have Doug really just looking at really looking after the tractor. Yeah. And hey Jason, something just doesn't sound right. I don't want you to drive this thing tonight. Where I'd be like, all right, let's go. It started.
It started up.
It's not dripping any fluid. So,
what's that noise? Never mind.
Yep. And I've had I've had a couple people ask me sheet metal wise, no clue. Honestly, I'm going to chase sponsorship on something like that, Ron. I do want to do something different. I don't care if the curtains don't match the carpet, I mean, it's gonna be a red motor, but
Yeah.
I highly doubt it'll have red sheet metal. I really want to do something different. I'm gonna, Doug Borth is gonna work on that for sponsorship, but we got plenty of time, plenty of time on that. But I'm excited. It's been a long time coming, and when Tony called me a couple weeks ago, finally got the motor down. He says, "Jason, you're starting over." I was just like, I was kind of depressed for a couple days. Not like depressed, but really bummed out because we had such a good season going and really was coming on strong that back half of the season. Not that we would have caught Novak, but I wanted to give Georgie, Porgy, and Paddocks and them a run for their money for second or third. And we were right on their heels and going into Wisner. But that's how it goes.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
You were. Yeah, it's well, cool, man. That'd be awesome. I mean, and speaking of Meisinger, I mean, High Plains Performance, Kansas, Golden Ribbon Transport sponsoring. Speaking of Diesel Supers, the Big Smoke Shootout.
Yeah.
This summer starts in White Texas, and then the 2 hooks down there in White with the Diesel Supers.
Awesome.
I hear the Blagraves are going to be coming and playing in that shootout with our Diesel Supers, and then they'll go up to Thunder in the Valley at Rock Valley, Iowa, and have 2 hooks up there, and there's a nice big payout for that Diesel Super class. Whoever wins that shootout pays down several spots. So what
I really want to do, and I've talked to Meisinger about this already, and he's already on board with this, is that, hey, we'll come pull in Toma if we don't have a pull that weekend with the Outlaws, but we want you guys in Rock Valley. You know what I mean? So really do some schedule coordinating, before the season gets out a little bit, you know what I mean? And try to bring some of those, the NTPA Grand National guys over to the Outlaws. But Doug and I are willing to go support some of their polls too. Because if you bring 2 more Diesel Supers to, like an NTPA Grand National, you might go from 6 to 8 tractors or 8 to 10, right? And if I can bring 2 or 3 guys over from, NTPA to the Outlaws, and, we might go from 5 to 8 in a class, and that's a nice class of Diesel Supers, 8 to 10, Ron. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fun. So
definitely. And you'll notice in the schedule, we kind of keep those hook numbers a little lower, in that class, specifically for the, we don't want anybody blowing anything up mid-season, which is always a possibility. But anyway, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. And
I don't know if it's the dumbest thing I've ever done, but we're gonna find out. So
no, I'm sure it'll be Doug has that Scrappy factor is awesome.
I trust Meisinger and what he's done with Scrappy and with Kryptonite. I mean, he's a thinker. I call him the mad scientist. He's sitting there thinking about stuff all the time. And I probably should give him a heads up that I made the announcement tonight, because I told him I was gonna do that. But it just felt natural tonight, Ron. It's like you're like my little Dr. Phil, Ron.
I drug it out of you. I drug it out of you.
Drug it out of me.
Sometimes I know some of the secrets, and I try to drag it out, but I won't push too hard.
You mean like using your words? Thank you, Mark Ham. Using your words, I like that. So good. Hate your money. Yeah, no doubt. Did the Wisner Thursday night thing? Are you up to something, or are you just playing ball a little bit? That's kind of that's your MO. You might know something, but you might not. Or...
They're considering running a Thursday night, and I thought, well, heck, let's see what people think.
Yeah,
they're considering. They're meeting right now as we speak. They could be watching us. Hey, Dave Novak.
Hey, Dave.
Dave. They might be watching, and they are considering a Thursday night because they hate the idea of dropping any classes, but they're afraid the show might be too long as it is.
Yeah, you can get too long and lose your crowd. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so they're looking at potentially adding the session. And Thursday night is the session. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, wait a minute, that's the fish fry. That's the fish fry at Wisner. But, they're trying to make it work, and they're trying to accommodate everybody. And like Rock Valley, they're trying to make that, one of, if not the better, the best pool in the country.
Tyron Olburn, we need Thursday to rebuild our Chevys.
After the Iowa State Fair.
Yep. Mark Ham, hard part about Thursday night is volunteers. Yeah, I agree with that. It's tough. A lot of people, though, I mean, your main volunteers usually that you take that week off anyway, but it's still it's 100 hundreds of volunteers, to run a show like that, from the gates to the concessions to everything across the board. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's go time now. The schedule's starting to tighten up, and we're starting to get it, all the loose ends tied up, and that happened today with Sedalia, and it just kind of opened the door for Monette to make that a bigger event, and they're wanting to make that a really big show down there. And of course, kicking off the 2023 season would be a pretty big deal, I think, on a weekend event like that. So, we could be kicking it off in Monette, looks like.
Coolest thing that you did this year was the semi trucks. I'm going to tell you, as a social media guy, semi truck videos do well. And because I truly, and a lot of people that watch our shows have heard me say this, but everybody can relate to semi trucks, Ron. That's why diesel trucks are popular, because whether it's a Freightliner, a Kenworth, a Peterbilt, a Cat, whatever, I don't even know all the different brands, but my papa drove one of those, or I drove one of those, or there is somebody, I don't care who you are, there's a truck driver in your life somewhere, and you really, that brand loyalty, Ron, that's pretty neat.
Yeah,
that's pretty neat. So
yeah, it's just, you could use a little more diversity on the pulling track. Semi, there's some diversity there. You got diesel pickups, gas pickups, alcohol. You got, modified tractors, and pro stocks, and super stocks, and getting a little diversity in there. Those semis with some diversity, and it might, you might be helping the promoters too, put some more butts in the seats that may not have been there.
Did you see the was it Wayne, Nebraska, that they have a semi truck on their little graphic that they made? That thing's been shared like 500 times.
Yeah, he said it blew up. He said people are calling, people are messaging, and I think it's going to put more butts in the seats there.
I do too.
In Wayne, and which there aren't a whole lot of seats to be had up there. So
no, that place is going to be packed.
What's this? How about wisdom pre-July and post-July?
Somebody's feeling very ambitious tonight, Ron, and his name's
someone
Tyron, so.
In the Ulmer Mafia knows something that I don't. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
I
mean, doesn't everything that regards the Outlaws have to go through the Ulmer Mafia? Like, isn't there like a secret meeting?
It has to be filtered through the Ulmer Mafia, yes, to get the approval. Nobody wants to wake up with a horse head in bed next to him.
It's in some back room in some bar in Menno, South Dakota. So, there's like a fire in the middle, and they're all going, oh. And then Mark comes out, with a robe on, and takes the goat helmet off.
Did Mark have a little office there at the beer garden? And
I believe so. Well, there's pictures of his tractors hanging in both bars, so that was kind of cool. So. Mackenzie's going to get that video published of the Esden Lane Ulmer interview here by the end of March. We've had so much content to get up, I kind of forgot about it, and somebody emailed me the other day and was asking about it. So.
No, I'm sure your team is just overwhelmed. They're doing a good job, man. It's that social media stuff, man. There's so much content, and Chandler did a good job on that new video he put out there too.
Yeah, he was pumped. And then he's been posting his his farm show interviews tonight. And I don't think he got as many as he wanted, but he got some, and we're getting more confident with him to do that stuff. That makes it a lot of fun. So Kevin Davis. Thanks, Ron. Still P. I don't know what that means, but
I don't know.
Maybe still going. Maybe I'm not sure.
Thanks, Ron. Still, yeah.
I know if that was code word for something.
I don't know. Maybe that's mafioso stuff.
Yeah, Tyron Ulmer. Everywhere is his office. Yeah, wherever Ulmer goes, that's his office. Charlie's checking in tonight. Jason and Ron. So yeah, no, good show. Jason Petch, fine young man. I've talked to him multiple times. I don't know him as well as you do, but Fred and Kyle have always been great and everywhere. And the Young Gun thing is great. They're doing such a good job. They're professional. And then the way Titan Tire and Dave wrangles them all together, the donations and stuff, it's been pretty cool. So,
yeah, and the kids are drawn to those Young Guns too. I think that's super cool.
Kevin fixed his phone. He says, thanks, Ron. Yeah. Still more for people. New bleachers going in.
New bleachers. Awesome. Still getting a lot of positive feedback, I'm guessing, Kevin, on the semis.
Oh, yeah.
Brent Schorfheide, one of the 618 guys checking in.
618's in the house.
618. How's it going, Mr. Schorfheide? I saw him at the farm show there briefly.
Yep, Kevin Davis said yes. Okay, good deal.
Good deal. Good deal.
No, you guys, if you're a promoter, I mean, get your dates out now. Get just, if you know your start time, get some pictures up, get it up, start pounding it now. The promoters that have hired us, we work them all year round. Power Pole Nationals, Hutchinson, Minnesota, Toma, the ones that are on, Warrensburg, Missouri hired us for the whole year. You're seeing their content all year round. And it's because either they do it or they hire somebody to do it for them. So that's what it takes. That's what it takes.
Important to get it out there on social media. Important,
really
very important. Yeah, your numbers, Jason, on social media, Beer Money is incredible. And I looked at them. Yeah, I like looking at stats, and potential sponsors love looking at stats. You know that. And the last time I looked, I think this was January. The Outlaw page was averaging at the time, or not averaging. That's what it did average in December, was 4,555,362 reaches in January alone.
Yeah, and that's not even the pulling season. That's what makes it fun, Ron.
And then your page, Beer Money Pulling Team, 30,687,307 in a month. I mean, that's incredible reach.
Yep.
And then you track that for a year. I mean, it's close to 55 million for Outlaws in a year. And for Beer Money's page, 368 million reaches in a year. That's more than the population of the United States. Incredible. I mean, it's foolish not to use social media to promote tractor.
I'm so blessed to have Mackenzie and Chandler full time now. They kick ass. I mean, they have a plan. We tweak the plan every now and then, but they just do such a great job. And they're young and they love it. And then they have the best. I tell them all the time, I'm jealous. They have the best job in the world, and to get to do all that stuff. But the new intro, that's got to be Chandler. He's watching on YouTube. Great, glad you like the new intro. Yep. He means Roan Stone. Yeah, that was good. So.
That's my French doppelganger, Roan Stone.
Yeah. Oh, Brent says 26 million reaches was me watching my son win the state fair in Du Quoin. Yeah, I understand.
26 million times.
Little Grayson, that was neat. Chuck. Mini rod pullers are going to Liberty, Kentucky this weekend. The Beer Money pulling team is heading to Satsuma, Florida, Putnam Raceway. And Ron, I know you wanted to take the equipment down there, but I'm running out of time on that one. So, but we're jumping on an aeroplane Thursday night, buzzing down there. I'm announcing, and then Hope and Doug are running video. And then we have Keystone Nationals in Harrisburg,
Pennsylvania.
Then the Mac Trailer Winter Nationals April 1st. So if you like Louisville, and you want to head back down there, the MATS is the Mid-America Truck Show, guys, and it's the biggest truck show, I think, in the country, Ron. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or maybe it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But then Saturday night, Mike Connie, the owner of Mac Trailer, got the Mac Daddy Pro Stock, Mac Nasty, is putting up 4 classes, $25,000 person, each class, $10,000 to win.
Wow.
I think it's Pro Stocks, mini rods. I'd have to go look at the list, but check that out. We'll be promoting it on Beer Money here once we get the official go ahead to turn it loose. But it's and then everything's getting donated back to Make-A-Wish, so that's pretty cool. We'll have more of that on Beer Money.
Very cool.
Stuff goes on. Holganics, that sweep that they're doing, Ron. I think I have that. I know we need to get going, but I wanted to. Here's that midsummer sweep again. Sweeps are so cool. Because for running points, it gives you a little extra incentive, Ron.
Yeah,
to really chase some of these down. So,
yeah, that's basically 2 weeks. I mean, 15 days there? 15 days, 16 cities. Holganics Midwest is putting up $25,000 for 5 classes in that time frame. Starts in Troy, Missouri, on the 14th of July, and ends in Lamar's, Iowa, and Warrensburg, Missouri. Both those polls are the 29th of July. So the Holganics Midsummer Sweep, Pro Stocks, Pro Stock 4x4, Limited Pro Stocks, the 540 Light Pros, and then the Light Limited Pro, the 8500 Light Limited Pro tractors, all involved in that Midsummer Sweep. And last I talked to them, they very possibly may be adding a couple more classes to that sweep. So, and that would pump that purse up as well. Because it's $5,000 per class right now. And we're also talking about the potential for doing something in the fall. When Unionville is going on, and Unionville and Buckner in that time frame, somewhere in there. So a lot of exciting things happening. I want to get all this stuff tied up and ready to go because it's going to be an exciting summer. I love the sweeps and the shootouts and things.
Yeah. The Outlaws used to have big sweeps back in the day, the Kansas sweep and stuff like that. And I had some super farm buddies that pulled in, and it was worth chasing it, Ron. It was pretty lucrative for them. You know what I mean? To go out and, yeah, you're gone for a couple weeks, but
I think some of those sweeps were kind of intense. They were like day after day, I think.
Oh, they were legit. Yeah, they were banging them out. They were banging them out back then. So.
Yeah, I've heard some of the stories from the sweeps, and something pretty crazy how they used to do it. But yeah, long show tonight. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Jason, keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you keep doing what you're doing.
And thanks everybody for tuning in to Outlawed Live. Join us next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, for Outlawed Live with myself and Jason Schultz.
It's what we do. It's what we do. So have a great night, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.